Welcome to the Wallace Show Aftercast. All the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today. Fresh off of Easter weekend, a 3-day weekend for us too, because of Good Friday, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
And
you would think we would be real well rested.
Yes,
but the joke would be on you.
And on Betty, because she didn't sleep last night, so she's
I'm on a hair trigger.
Foggy. Yeah, I'm trying not to even don't look at her. Gavin, don't look at her. She needs a nap.
Is all you have to do is have a kid. And then it trains the snippiness right out of you when you don't get sleep.
Sure, yeah.
And by that, I mean, I'm also pretty tired.
That's like complaining to a morning guy about being tired. Like I'll be at small group or whatever, and someone's like, oh, I'm so tired. Yeah, I had to get up at like 7 today. Like, oh, okay, really? And same thing like when you have a kid.
You
like,
didn't even catch that conversation because you were already asleep.
I was already asleep, yeah. Talking to someone with a kid about being tired, they're like, oh, really? You're tired? Mm-hmm. Tell me about it.
That's what Gavin just did to me.
I know. He just tired shamed you.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I can't I cannot tire shame?
Yeah.
That does sound weird. I can't tire shame anyone in this room because I don't think we're meant to wake up at 4.
No human
is, and therefore it's just, and especially on a night like you explained where it's like you're laying there, you're like, all right, let's get this sleep. And then you lay there. You lay there.
Did you go in and out of sleep, or were you like, okay, it's 2:00, I'm awake till my alarm goes off at 4?
No, I kept trying, which I don't know if that makes it worse.
It makes it worse.
I don't know. I where I went wrong was I took a nap, and I know that I should never take a nap on Sunday afternoon because it'll always mess me up going into Monday, and it did. So I took an hour nap. That's it.
That's not a long nap.
Do you nap, though, during the week, though, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't mess me up, but I think it's because I stay on a schedule. So Friday going into Saturday, I slept till I set my alarm for 10:30 because I had to be somewhere by 1, and I was like, I'm just gonna
10:30.
I was setting it just as a precaution.
Oh,
but
my
I thought
goodness.
I'll be up by then.
Were you up by then?
My alarm woke me up.
Oh,
man,
snap!
I'll tell you
it gets me off.
This is just
off my schedule.
This is 10.
But I'm not gonna wake up at 4 a.m. on a Saturday.
100%. But like somewhere in the middle. But like Saturday at least, I think I went to the gym on Saturday, and then I got home. Made breakfast. We took Bennett to the doctor because he's got some phlegm stuff, and then we were at our Easter jam for our church.
Oh yeah,
by 10:30. Like that's everything I did before 10:30.
Yeah, it's amazing. And by the time she woke up,
I tell you what, I'd rather have. Mm-hmm. I'd rather have that right now, at least.
Yeah, I woke up like super early on Friday and just started knocking stuff out. I like went out to my garage. I waited till 7:30 to be kind. And then I had my power tools out, and I was planing things and trying to get something done before we left. And then we were gone all day with my mom. But it was Friday felt like Saturday to me. And then when Saturday hit, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like now I got another day.
And you
too.
had church on Saturday.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this: I had to watch my neighbor's dog sit a little bit, and that's the thing with dogs, you can't leave them gone for too long, like 8 hours. And she told me, my neighbor said, go up there and check on her when you wake up. Well, I don't think she remembers that
you wake up at 10:30.
It could be noon or 1. So I got up at 6:45 to go and check on her.
Oh.
And then you went back to bed?
No.
Oh.
I was up for the day, ready to go.
That's early for you.
Welcome to
I know, but then the next day I slept till 10:30.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it was good. I had like a super productive weekend. I got so much stuff done. That makes me happy. Like that, I love that. And so I actually got Facebook Marketplace. I bought something on Facebook Marketplace and picked it up on Easter of all days. It was glorious.
Talk about a heathen.
Yeah, no, talk about he is risen because like this was a miracle. That the person, because I have a problem with Facebook Marketplace. The person was super communicative and was getting right back with me. We were trying to figure things out. And then he was like, hey, I'm going to church. And so, I'll be back home around 12. And I'm like, cool. I went to church last night. And so I threw that out there.
Because you had to be sure to tell everybody so
they
wouldn't judge you.
Even the Facebook Marketplace guy. I'm like, yeah. And so I said, if it's not a problem, I don't mind coming by today. But if that's weird for you, we could just do it Monday. And he's like, no, come on by. So went out, picked it up, and only had to drive 32 minutes this time for something. So that's a miracle. I got there.
What'd you get?
A lift for my lawnmower so I could work underneath it.
Which is something you tried to get, right?
Yes,
that
and
fell through
that I drove
with
an hour for, and it was broken.
Yeah.
I got a thing off Facebook Marketplace too.
Yeah.
But I think I showed it to you. It's a little woodland squirrel.
Yeah.
He's got a little leaf on his head.
Love that.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
That's a good one.
Little gift for me.
This one was actually brand new, and it was less than the other one that was broken.
I was in on Marketplace.
The guy was selling it. He gotten it from his family and was like, I don't need it. I got all these other things. And so he was just kind of dumping it. And it was great. Like, I got it, brought it home, worked perfectly like it was supposed to. Could not have been a better Facebook Marketplace. I'm back. I think now everything's going to be great from
You
here
know
on
what
out.
the difference is?
Huh.
You actually bought it.
I know.
There's some days where you like save it and then you don't buy it.
I
Then
know.
You get angry.
I get sad when I go back through my list of saved items and I see sold. I'm like, oh, I should have. Oh, I should have. Oh, I should have. But this one, I pulled the trigger on it fast because it was a good deal. And I'm very happy because of it. Boy, I will tell you something I'm not happy about, though. Oh,
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Interesting.
McDonald's.
Not Nubia.
No, not Nubia. She's
Different
always
McDonald's?
an angel. Different McDonald's. I was going foiling on Saturday morning.
You do like a good
McGriddle.
McGriddle before.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to eat like half a McGriddle because I'm still kind of watching my weight, but I need something because I don't want to. I haven't been working out and doing stuff, so I'll get a little dizzy, so I need something in my system. So I get the thing. I am chewing so carefully on this McGriddle because the McGriddle was what broke my tooth. It split my tooth down the side, took my crown off, and broke the tooth in front of it. Something hard in a sausage McGriddle, which, by the way, McDonald's, there should be nothing hard in your sausage McGriddles. Nothing. They should be like very flimsy. Like they should be chewable. But so that's what broke my tooth. So I'm super aware of this. I'm eating it. I'm chewing so lightly because sometimes you're not aware of how much pressure your bite puts on something, and you're just eating and you're enjoying it. You're eating fast, and so I'm chewing so carefully. Sure enough, I hit another piece of something hard, and this time it was on the other side. But because I was chewing softly, it didn't blow my teeth up. But it was like, guys, where's the quality control?
Dude, this is a McDonald's.
Yes, I know. I'm like, I could have lost another set of teeth this time on the McGriddles. I might have to break up with McDonald's McGriddles. As much as it kills me,
That would be tough.
I might have to find something else. Maybe the pancakes should be soft enough. I'm sure they'll find a way to put something hard in there. Here's a washer or a bolt.
You should just commit to dentures at this point. Go the extra mile because you know what's not happening to them.
Yeah,
they're not breaking their teeth,
yeah.
and if they do, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I would love to do implants all the way around, but they're so expensive. I haven't seen what the one for my one tooth is going to be yet, but it's got to be $2,000 at least.
I feel
if
that.
it's less than that, I would be amazed. It's just crazy. So anyway, that was my weekend. Betty Lou, how'd you do?
So
other than the sleep.
Oh yeah, Friday I went over to my mom and dad's. We went to fish camp.
Nice.
And
do they have a frequent
Fisher
card?
Yeah, do they have a punch card?
They should.
You need one. You
but
should
they
suggest
don't.
that.
Like bring your own fish.
So we went there, and then we worked on some party favors. Me and my mom, we worked on some party favors for my birthday party that's coming up. And
Are we invited to that?
No.
Oh yeah.
Well, you would have been, but you're going to be working. I will not be.
You're the worst.
Listen, I have never missed a support drive ever.
Same. Keep going.
You have and you have. I am the only one that can actually say that.
So
I've
one day,
never missed a day
and
of
it's
support
a
drive.
Saturday.
I have
and
had
it's for my birthday.
And
kidney
we-
stones.
My support,
And we changed our
support
schedule,
drive
so-
has hit on my birthday
Yeah,
the
it
past
has.
5 years.
Yeah, that's tough.
Okay, I spend my birthday doing support drive. I ask for this one day.
And I didn't fight it. I'm like, yeah, you should go.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're excited for you because
Yeah.
this I love the structure of this birthday party that is happening. I think it's
very
fun and would
excited
be very
about
fun
it.
to be at.
I love
Yeah.
that. You would have been invited, but you're working.
Well, you are.
yeah, we're working for you.
But
so that you can have
is
it
that
off.
what you want me to say?
No.
You're working for me?
Yeah.
I want you to
Because if you're
have-
working for me, well, then I've got some things I need to get into
I want you
order.
to get sick on catfish for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gavin.
Yeah.
It's very kind. Thank you.
Play the game.
Hope you throw up that day.
That's what I said.
Yeah, it's such a good day. Gavin, how was your week?
It was good. It was good enough. But
Good enough.
Yeah. It's just Bennett in this like 8-month sleep regression is kicking my butt right now. Let's see. Thursday into Friday, bad. Friday into Saturday, bad. Where he just wakes up wailing.
Yeah.
And then we had sage advice from you guys last week. Like, let him cry.
Let him cry it
and
out.
we tried.
Self-soothe.
And so 40 minutes in, you're like, okay, let's go fix this. Because it's 11:45 and I'm breaking down over here.
Yeah.
So we went in and handled that.
What was it?
Nothing.
Yeah, he's just
But see, that's how he
he's
gets
just
to
training
you.
them. He's training
training
you.
We're trying.
Yeah.
We're in the starting
He's
process.
training
We're
you.
in the starting process.
Then you wait it out over 40
see.
minutes.
Do you have
Wait it out.
earbuds?
I can hear him through earbuds. Like I'm not gonna.
Not if you have music.
I don't want to completely cancel it out. 'Cause
Not if
what
you drive
something's
somewhere.
Wrong, if I just leave.
Yes.
Oh man, I'll be honest. 'Cause she doesn't listen to this, but I am pulling a good husband card because we've got Mother's Day here in 3 weeks, I believe.
Oh, no,
I know. I've got a hotel room booked for Haley.
Oh, nice.
To go have a
Wow.
night.
Oh.
One with a pool because she wants us. She's told me. I ran this by her because I'm like I don't want sending you out is not the goal here. I want you
Right.
to be okay with getting a good night's sleep because I think women wrestle with that guilt of oh I'm leaving. Guys, not a chance.
Not a
Get
chance
me out of
at
here.
all. No.
I'm like yeah, you know what I want for Father's Day? 2 nights, but or another golf trip. But I booked that for her. And one with a pool so that we can go and hang out and swim with Bennett. And then when it's like 6:30 or 7, we're out.
Oh, you're
And
leaving?
Yeah.
Nice.
She's getting a hotel
Good idea.
to herself. I'm gonna fill the fridge with like ice cream and stuff.
Nice.
But
That's a good Mother's Day.
I know I'm like, do you want this early? But
Yeah.
that was I booked that this weekend.
That's good.
But it was good. Bennett's first Easter was fun.
Do you dress him up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was this outfit that my mom knitted for me when I was
Oh,
his
nice.
age, and so we put him in that, and that was
the tradition.
that was cute.
Yeah, that's good.
I put it on backwards. It was the buttons were supposed to be in the back,
Oh.
and I show up to church, and Haley's like, "Oh, you put it on backwards." I look down, I'm like, "Nuh-uh." I did though.
He's crisscross. Oh man.
Guys, am I right?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like women, guys, the hair isn't going to be done right if you have a daughter. The clothes aren't going to be done right, and it's just you got to laugh about it. My wife wanted everything always perfect, and it was never perfect when I did it for sure. I had seen this thing. Speaking of like the weekend and Easter, it was on TikTok, obviously. But it was interesting that I'd never heard this before. It says, "Did you know that NASA confirmed something major about the day Jesus died?" Have you seen this?
What is NASA doing?
Many scholars pinpoint the date to Jesus' death at being April 3rd, 33 A.D. And according to 33 A.D., yeah. So according to NASA, there was a lunar eclipse that took place on April 3rd that lasted for about 2 hours and 50 minutes. And then in the Bible, it says in Matthew 27:45, from noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness came over the land.
Wow.
What was
You're
that
like,
verse?
That's crazy. Matthew 27:45.
How did they prove
I
that?
didn't even know the Bible.
The
did
thing
that.
is, they can go back and see things based on, because it's all
What?
patterns, it's cyclical and stuff. And so they can go back and look at when things happened, you know, when
pretty
they would have
impressive.
happened mathematically. And so the fact that they figured this out and
Props
it
to them.
coincides with the truth of the Bible, I think that's always amazing. And
Yeah.
like people are like, oh, yeah, there is no God. And you're like, well, you always say follow the science. Well, your science just said something to confirm what the Bible said, you know, over 2,000 years ago. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, really
I'm kind of
impressive.
impressed that at this time, at the 33 AD,
Right.
we were keeping track of time in the same way that we are 21 or 20,
Yeah.
2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that's interesting for me. I've read the Bible and I've read this part of the Bible, but I've never recognized that they tracked time in the Bible like that.
I used to think that AD stood for after death. So you had
It doesn't?
BC before Christ,
Oh.
and then AD was after death, but I don't think it's after death. It's like Anni Domini or something
thought-
like
yeah.
that. And
ADs.
see what it means. It's something different.
Anno Domini,
Yeah.
Domini, a Latin phrase meaning in the year of our Lord.
Yeah, so they basically are saying that 33 AD would be 33 years after Jesus was born.
Which is the year of our Lord.
Right. And so that would make sense. All of that math coincides with being 33 and, having being crucified and all that. So just it's one of those weird, like, cool stories. I just love things that you could actually share with, like, a non-believer, because, like, someone that's, like, into science and stuff, you go, oh, you're into science. Like, if this was mind blowing, you go, funny fact about lunar eclipses, because we got one coming up or whatever. You go, you're not going to believe this. NASA proved or whatever. So those are kind of fun little nuggets.
I do wonder what people who don't believe or very anti Christianity, like, commentary on that would be.
Yeah.
My favorite joke that I've seen online is this guy who I don't even think is a Christian, but he's like, yeah, people make fun of Christians for believing that God created the universe out of nothing, but you know what's funnier than believing that? That everything came out of nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
Literally nothing.
Yeah. And that when you go back to something, you go back to nothing, which is inevitably going back to your creator, is what he's saying.
I'm
it's pretty funny.
reading
It's
a
good.
book that's like, the title of it is something like, I don't have enough faith to be a
Atheist.
atheist, something like that.
feel like it
I haven't finished it, but I mean, what he's saying though does, like, take a lot of faith to believe that you look at the human body and it just happened to work out.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I do wrestle with some of the ideas too, like Adam named all the animals, skink, muskrat, like, you're like, okay, is that like, okay. But, like, I don't struggle with the complexity of the human body being something that just happened. Like, I can't understand, like, there's no way. But then you're like, so God created everything with similar systems, but then some that were just completely different, and why? Like, when you're creating something, if you're, like, for example, if you're making cars, you want to create a assembly line that is the most similar as possible, so that you don't have to retool things and you just keep things going and just crank it out. So it's interesting that there's so much variation in creation,
Well, and speaking of creation, I want to share with the potties what I was trying to tell Wally when he was trying to make a point about Eve and women being the reason that we're troublemakers.
Oh yeah,
So I didn't know this, but I found it very interesting. I'm listening to this audiobook, and it's talking about Eve, and it said Eve always gets the blame for making sin happen.
Right, because she was the one that in the Bible it says she was tempted, and then she gave the fruit to Adam, and so she was responsible.
But what this author said was...
Is it a woman?
No, it's a man.
Betrayed us.
So what it said was Eve was not around when God gave Adam the speech on don't eat from the tree of
The
good
knowledge
and
of
evil.
good and evil.
Yeah. That was all just given to Adam. Then Eve came. So what Eve learned about the tree was from Adam. So when Satan tempted her at the tree, she said, because I've always been stumped on this, it sounds like she's lying when she says we're not even supposed to look at it. Well, God didn't say that. But she's just going off what Adam said. She's not going off what God said because she was never there to begin with that speech. But then it's Romans 5, verses 12 through 19. It says, when Adam sinned, so it's pointing at Adam, not Eve. It says, when Adam sinned, sin entered the world. Adam's sin brought death, so death spread to everyone, for everyone sinned. Okay? It doesn't say Eve did it.
Right.
So then this author goes on to say that, yes, Eve did eat the fruit first, but she was doing it out of a lack of knowledge, whereas Adam took the fruit knowing what he was doing.
To support his wife.
No, he was willfully sinning.
To support his wife.
Willfully sinning.
So she didn't have to go through it alone.
Willfully sinning so that, no, because then listen to this. Willfully sinning so that he's the one that's being blamed. Now,
Yeah, he took the blame for her.
No, listen to this. When God comes down and he's like, Adam and Eve, where are you? And they're hiding in the bushes or whatever. He says, we're naked, we're ashamed, we messed up, blah, 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 blah. And he says to God, the woman you gave me caused me to sin.
Yeah, he did.
He throws her under the bus and God.
Yeah.
He blames God because he didn't ask for Eve.
Absolutely.
He gave Eve to Adam.
Yeah.
And so he's saying, God, it's your fault and it's the woman's fault. So he's practically saying, she's the one that failed you. You failed me.
Yeah.
I'm an innocent victim here. So
that tracks with me. 100% I would do the same thing.
Shout out to the bachelors out there.
Yeah.
They're probably perfect.
Absolutely, I would do the same thing. You kidding me? I'd
You
be
would
like,
not.
yes, I would.
I think I would
yes.
too.
Everyone, it's like you get no one ever tells the truth about a crime. You know, they always have to. That's why we have detectives. They got to figure out. Everyone lies when they're in trouble about something. It's just human nature. So if God was like, hey, where are you and what happened? I'd be like, that lady. Do you know what she did?
But that's not being very gentlemanly.
Do you think, though, I'm just
throwing under the bus so fast.
I would too. Do you think?
All that to say, men are to be held responsible, not women. Okay.
Do you think that we were created he created Adam and Eve? Were they created with a sinful nature?
Oh, that's a tough question. Boy, that's a tough question.
Because
theoretically,
they just sinned.
I think they were created.
They weren't created perfect.
They were created like us to have that decision.
They were created with free will, but
right.
not sinful nature. We have a sinful nature because of the fall. And so they weren't created with a sinful nature, but they also were created with some curiosity. But here's the thing, though. You really want to dive into this theology. Why on earth, you're God, you've just made everything. Why do you put that one tree in there that can poison something? Why? What's the point of that?
What's the point in creating something that just is a robot that loves you?
This I agree
Okay, here's Bennett. You got Bennett there, and you go, oh, son, I love you so much. You're my heart. I would give my life for you. Hey, look, I know you're 2, and you're going to do some dumb things. I've put an electrical cord in the corner. It's plugged in, and it's in a bowl of water, and it's frayed. Don't do that because you could die. Just don't do that.
Sure.
Now, why did I put it there? Just for funsies and just to see if you'll listen to me. And so I'm going to put it there. And then your son grabs it and dies. You didn't have to put that there. You were creating his world. His world was created by you. And he still would have loved you.
I think it's a super fair thing to wrestle with. And I think... God didn't even need to create us. He does not need us. That's the thing. That's the thing.
We were created to love him.
Yes, we were created to reflect his glory, and
praise him.
And praise him, which is something that I do think is a slightly hard thing to wrestle with because he made us and because we have an innate selfish perspective.
If
of
I
things,
was created,
we always put ourselves at in
the
center.
image of God.
We always do.
He's a narcissist because I'm a narcissist.
Yes.
So
I think that the thing I wrestle with inherently is that, in essence, he created an entire structure of the universe that was never perfect. Well, it was never perfect because it was never meant to be perfect.
Well, because you've got Satan that had a fall too.
How did Satan fall? He created things, and there was going to be sin. He knew from the get-go. He's like, I'm going to start this whole shebang.
Yeah,
and there's going to be sin. He knew that from the get-go.
I still would be so much better off mentally with all of this stuff if someone were to prove or tell me that God didn't know everything. I would be okay with that. I could still be fine with that. That he was like, I didn't know that so-and-so was going to sin. I didn't know the angels were going to rebel. Dadgummit, and I'm making the best of this just like you. I could deal with that so much better than I know everything. I'm still doing it. And here's the fallout of it kind of thing. That to me is harder.
And, following it up with, and I love you, and you need to love me, and you need to do all this, because if you don't love this, then your punishment is eternal separation from me, which the Bible does explain is pretty bad.
Yeah, and so that's a rough one.
But he created Adam and Eve. He created the human race, knowing that he was going to have to give up his own son to die for
Once
them.
again, a system that he created. That did not have to be the way that salvation was brought. It could have been hopscotch. He could have been like, hey, we're going to do hopscotch for salvation. And he's like, but so he made the parameters that a sacrifice must be given and that his son would be the sacrifice.
Would you respect someone that just played hopscotch instead of died for you?
Sure.
Put Jesus off his pedestal for a minute and look at him as a normal human being, like a first responder.
Right.
If you knew someone was going into a burning building to get you, to save you, but then they die in the process, you would never forget them.
Right.
You would live your days for that person because they saved you from death.
Right.
Now you're going to say, well,
if he started the fire,
he's the one that started the whole thing.
Yeah. And
I think we can keep having this issue, and you can keep having your issues with it, but I think you've got to do the work. You've got to go. You've got to dive into it. You've got to figure it out for yourself. That's between you and God. And two, I go back to what my pastor said not that long ago. God is bigger than my why. Because there are so many people that have lost loved ones, like they've lost babies, they've lost children, they've lost parents, they've gone through something horrible, and yet, or they've been in sexual assault situations. That is something I can never I can never get in their shoes. I can't understand that. But at some point, you can keep saying, "Well, why did he do this? Why did he do this?" This is why people don't accept Christianity. So you can fight it, or you can dive in and fight for it.
See, that's where I come down to. You have to decide on, first of all, is there a God? That's like basic step number one.
Yeah.
Is there a God or not?
Yeah.
And then B, who is this God?
Yeah.
And so for me, I do 100% understand this, because at the end of the day, even with all of my questions that I do not understand and I would love to have answered, I still believe that there's a God. I still believe that it's God and Jesus, and he died for our sins. And I still know that I will never know all the answers to stuff. Some days I'm okay with not knowing. Other days it frustrates me.
No.
But at the end of the day, I still believe, like you're saying, that God is bigger than the why. Like that that I'm just gonna have to understand that I won't understand.
Well, and two, when Job was going through his whole ordeal, and he was even saying, he was like, why did God even create me? Like, what was my purpose for even being born? I wish I'd never been born.
Right.
Like, I want to be dead. Like, kill me right now. And
he was so dramatic.
Right? Sounds like someone else I know. But at the end of it, he's doing all of this, and rightfully so in my eyes, complaining because he's lost so much. But at the end of it, you find that God comes to him and he's like, oh, if you know more than me, if you can do it better than me, then do it. And ultimately, Job finds out that you can't question God's goodness. Like, goodness comes from God. Love comes from God. The Bible tells us God is love. And so you can sit there and you can have your, and I'm not saying you're being prideful. I'm not saying that, but I'm thinking a lot of people who come and not accept God because they're like, I can't get my questions answered. I understand that. That is difficult for sure. But at some point you have to let go of your pride of thinking, I know everything. I know more than God. He has to answer me before I will trust him. And at some point, let go, be humble, and trust that he knows what he's doing.
Well, that's the difference between me and an atheist, or me and somebody who can't come to faith, is I do accept that. I don't always love it.
Yeah.
But I do accept it. I do, believe that God is who he says he is, and that he died for my sins, and that this is the system. I have a question like, why is this the system kind of thing? Like, I get it. This is the rules we're all playing under. Fine. But I'm always why are we doing that? Like at work, when we do something at work, I'm always like, well, why are we doing that? Because that's my nature, And
I do think that you bring up Job, but I think the Bible is just full of characters. And not all they do, but like some of their highlight moments are literally like looking at God and saying, what in the world is this? Like, David in Psalms is literally just a schizophrenic who goes from, saying,
you're
like, man,
amazing.
you're amazing,
to
the next being like,
why do you
might be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Because I think that it's okay to do that because he did give us free will to bring up those questions. But yes, if your end result is, like you said, if the end result is saying this is too much, I will not be a part of this, versus, okay, I accept this, but there are going to be hard days.
See, that's why I have a really good, we all go through different things so that you can appeal to people or understand people and hopefully share your faith with them. You're in a different stage of life than me. Betty, you're in a different stage of life than me, and you can speak to people that I can't, and vice versa, and so yeah. So this is an area for me where I completely understand why people walk away from faith.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand why you look at this, you survey it, and you go, this is all garbage, and you walk away. I get that. And I think because I get that perspective, but I still believe, I think it helps me speak to people in a way that is non-judgmental and has compassion and is understanding of them. But because some of my best friends aren't believers.
But I think if you're having those questions, if that's something that you're battling and you understand where they're coming from, you also have to have answers available.
Oh, I know. But see, that's the thing. I have always long said that. But when it comes down to, there are certain things that we are not going to have answers for.
Yeah.
And like we just discussed a bunch of them. And so those are the hangups for people. For me, I made the jump in my head to be like, I'm going to believe in you and trust in you regardless of what I don't know. Mm-hmm. And not everybody can get to that place.
Right.
Very
but I think that is an
can.
answer. I think that is an answer. When it's hard. Thankfully I haven't been in that position where someone's been like, but why did God allow me to be sexually abused? Like I could not. Yeah. I don't have answers.
I don't think
for
it'd
you.
be. Yeah, I don't think having an answer is even a good thing.
Let's walk through it for a second. You say, okay, God did not allow you, or God did not cause you to be sexually abused. Right. And they go, well, isn't your God all powerful? Could he have stopped it? Yes. And you go, yeah, he is all powerful. He could have stopped. Well, why didn't he? Well, because sometimes bad things happen to us for the greater good. So you're saying me being sexually assaulted was going to be good for somebody else. How is that kind and loving for me? Like, I don't understand that. I don't even believe all of this stuff. So how is this good for me? How is this God that you love and say is so good? How? So that's the hard extrapolation of that. And to then just go, I don't know how, but I believe that God is good. It's really hard in those situations.
But I would say, in that situation, I would say that when God gave us free will, because if we want to love something, like if your wives, if they loved you because they were programmed to love you.
Or if Benny was programmed to love me.
Then
it would be easier.
It would be easier, but it wouldn't have near as much of a...
There would be no meaning to it.
There would be no meaning to it. Yeah, right. It'd be like, well, what's the point of it? Like that. So love has meaning when you have free will, when you have a choice to whether you love someone or not. Now, because he gave us free will to either choose him or not, he also gave us free will that we could choose to do evil as well. Right. So love and hate are the same thing. We can choose which one we want to do. Yes, he could stop someone from abusing you.
That's the big question.
Sure. And maybe sometimes he does. I don't know.
But why not me?
But why not you? I don't know. I will say, though, that recently when we were at the Reclaim event, Tasha Layton got up there, and I felt like I needed to pay her a therapy session fee because she shared, she had everyone in tears, too. I wasn't, maybe because I was nervous.
No
I was going to speak afterwards, so I couldn't think about being any of that. But anyways, she said, I want you to think about the worst situation in your life. Like, for some reason, that might be sexual abuse. Right. It might be a divorce. It could be a death. Accident. It could be all of those things where you felt alone.
Could be losing your passwords.
Where you felt alone. And you felt like God was not there. Yeah. He didn't care. He didn't see you.
Okay, what'd she say?
Now, I want you to picture Jesus sitting right next to you in that. Okay? Yeah. So let's say you're sitting on the bathroom floor. You just puked your guts up from another night out, crazy drinking, whatever. And you know you should have done better. You feel shame, you feel guilt, but you're trying to get over a horrible breakup, maybe sexual assault in the past. I don't know. But picture Jesus sitting there right with you. He didn't say life was going to be easy for you now that you believe in me. If he did, then everybody would want to be a Christian. Sure. Instead, he said, it's going to be tough, but I'm going to be there with you. Yeah. That's why they call him God who is with us. Right. And so I think that gives people the understanding of, I don't understand why he allowed it, but I do understand that when bad things happen, also good things choose to happen. Like, for instance, you look at Mr. Rogers, and he used to say, when bad things happen, look for the good. And you've said that too. People it matters. It makes an impact on your life. You keep mentioning it because these people could have chosen, when the Oklahoma City bombings happened, people could have chosen not to give blood. People could have chosen not to give food.
Oh, sure.
But instead, they chose to do good out of choosing to do evil. And that's because it stands out. It makes a big difference. That's how you show love to others. Yeah. So you can choose to hate your life, hate your circumstances, and be a victim. And you have every right to in our human minds. But you could also choose life. You can also choose love and turn something negative into a positive, because that's how good is going to show through it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you in that sense. And like self-inflicted things, like you go out and you're drinking and you're sick the next day or whatever, 100%, that's on me. It's the hard one is the innocent thing, bad, horrific things happening to an innocent child. And I know we live in a fallen world. And so the statement we always say is, well, bad things happen to good people. That's the price of living in this world. And God's going to redeem all of this one day. It's that one day that's really hard for people.
But I think, too, I'm sorry, Gavin,
You're on fire.
Keep interrupting you. But I will say that I think we make a big deal out of, and it's understandable because I'm right there with you. I think we make a big deal out of our life here on earth because this is all we can see. Right. We have a limited, what is it?
Our thread is very short.
Yeah, like we can't understand what eternity even looks like.
Right,
that
God looks at death
sense.
Way different than we do.
Yeah, and so I understand where you're coming from. You hear about all these sex trafficking situations and kids getting involved in it, and it's so sad, and you don't understand why babies are being put in shoe boxes. Like, I get it. And I'm not saying that's okay. I think what I'm trying to say is there is no secret door C. It's either A or B. A is you don't believe and you walk away. Option B is you believe and you hunker down. Okay? Which one do you want? There's not a secret door C where you can walk through it and you can kind of be like, I don't know, explain this first. Well, I don't know about that. No, that's choosing option A, which is not believing and walking away. Right. You can't do one or the other. You got to choose one or both. But what I'm saying is too that when we see people die tragically here on this earth, that hurts us and it should grieve us. I mean, God was grieving when Lazarus died. He gets it. He understands it. But I think this is how I've made some agreements in my own head is that we cannot even fathom what heaven and eternity look like. Sure. Because even the Bible, it says, one of the prophets, I don't remember, he said something like, it does the pain that I have right now on this earth doesn't even compare to what's waiting for me in heaven.
That was Larry.
Larry, yes, classic Larry.
Prophet Larry.
He's so great. He speaks for all of us. But I'm saying that when children die, we have the promise of that we will see them again.
Sure.
And that is something to be thankful for.
Right.
So you could say, well, why does it have to be that way? Right. Well, why can't I never did anything wrong. I wasn't in Eden. I might have not screwed up like Adam and Eve did. Yeah, you might have. What if? Oh,
I would have.
But here's the scenario. It's either A or B. Choose which one you're going to do. And whether you do or not, whether you believe or not, go all in. But you can't play both sides. You got to choose one or the other. Mm-hmm. Okay, Gavin.
Yeah, most of mine was very like in that brief moment in that pocket.
Okay,
so
I got you.
Pocket closed.
Do you want to go to my story?
No, we were at 38 minutes.
Okay.
We'll hold your story. Do you have any birthdays?
Front desk duties.
Yes, I do.
Birthdays and no question today because we're running late.
Yes, I have two.
Okay.
Samuel celebrates a birthday today. Happy birthday. Waka, 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 waka. You could thank Wally for that. He likes to watch your show. I guess he...
Watch on YouTube?
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know.
Nice.
That's a good thing that,
Or he
that we
thinks
don't
we're
scare him.
Cocomelon.
That guy looks like Wally.
And then Meg wants to wish her sister Shay a happy birthday. Shay is turning 14 years old. She loves her new baby chicks.
Oh, that's
Aw,
nice.
and she's a great artist.
They're at Tractor Supply. Pass them this
know.
weekend. The chicks are here.
Future tenderloin.
Yeah.
But no.
I'm just kidding.
Just walk away from.
Yeah.
I mean, they need a home, so if you can provide them a home, do that. But
be prepared.
it'll break your heart if you walk in there. Trust me, I've been there as a little girl. As my dad is like dragging me out the front door of the Tractor Supply. He's
I
like,
just want to love them.
we can't have chickens.
need a
I need a
home.
chicken.
All right. Well, that was really deep slogging in that one. And so we're going to have to wrap up with that today. And as always, thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.